So I was originally planning on playing the first game and Control before doing this, but my physical copy came in earlier than I was expecting. Plus, college stuff kind of put me behind schedule, so it's still October when I'm recording this. I have no idea when I'm going to be posting this. It's October 30th when I'm recording this. I have no idea. Like I said, I have no idea when I'm posting this. This is one of my favorite games ever. I got Alan Wake 1 back when it came out at a used game store like a couple months after launch because somebody angrily returned their copy of the game because it wasn't like Max Payne, which is one of Remedy's other games. And I was hooked almost immediately. It's one of the games that made me fall in love with horror. So in 2021, at the Game Awards, when Remedy did its review trailer for this, and Sam Lake walks up to Jeff and says, "This is our first full-on survival horror game," you bet your fucking ass I was excited. And then it was radio silence for a year and a half until like June of last year, when like randomly at a PlayStation event the game showed up, and I was screaming. I was at work at the time. I was in my break room at work, and I was screaming. One of my coworkers came in to make sure I was okay. So that was fun to explain. This is very much connected to Control in the first game, but as stuff comes up, I'll try to explain it as best as I can. Remedy's writing style, or Remedy's, Sam Lake's is still very mindfucky in the best kind of ways. So when stuff comes up that's important to the other games, I'll say something about it. So yeah, I'm also playing on quality mode because this is like I think the only game where I would recommend playing on quality mode over performance mode, because the game looks fucking beautiful in quality mode, and performance mode kind of muddies the image a bit too much. It's not as bad as, say, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, where the entire game is just pixely in performance. But, yeah. Excuse me. Trying to think if there's anything else I should say. Oh, I will be doing the DLCs at some point. I don't know if I'll be doing it after I finish this playthrough. I also will be doing a Final Draft, which is a New Game Plus playthrough, but that'll probably just be me recording clips as it comes up. I also might, I haven't decided for 100% sure yet, I might record my entire Platinum playthrough of this, because you can do it all in one run. I might record that entire thing. I don't know yet. Because there's a lot of running around getting collectibles, and I would need a guide. Because, well, I don't need a guide for the collectible locations, I need a guide for the puzzles for the collectibles. Because a lot of them were kind of weird. Anyway, let's start this. Yeah, since I got the physical PS5 version, I have all the digital deluxe stuff. I probably won't be using any of them. I might switch to the classic Alan outfit during Final Draft. But for the remainder, the first playthrough, I'll keep the stuff default. God, she looks like, what's her fucking name? Mona. She looks like Mona from Max Payne. You look so depressed.
We all come to a story with hopes and expectations, looking for an answer. Sometimes it would be better to live with that hope without ever knowing the full story. In a horror story, there are only victims and monsters. And the trick is not to end up as either. But trapped by the genre, we are all ripped to pieces along the way. This is not the story I hoped it would be. This is not the ending I wanted. This story will eat us alive. This story is a monster. And monsters wear many faces.
Okay, funny story quick. Gotta go to the options first. Is it gameplay? No. Is it graphics? Interface? So I remember going to the options and digging through all the options, making sure everything was proper in my first playthrough. I saw a nudity sensor, and I was like, what the fuck? And I got into the game, I'm like, oh, come on, it's a man! It's man ass! I just remember that making me laugh. I'll explain who this is in a minute. If I remember correctly, he does have his junk out, but obviously I'm not going to turn the camera around because that would make YouTube very mad at me. God damn it. The deer got me more than the fucking Dark Place jump scare. By the way, if people are watching this, watch this with headphones on. Because they do a lot of audio stuff that you can only hear with headphones on. What a fucking intro, man. Such a great fucking
Hey,
intro.
kiddo. How are you?
Oh, I forgot Jade is in this. Oh, fuck.
This trip might take a little longer than I thought. I'm sorry I've been gone so much lately, Logan.
Oh my god, Mom, it's not your fault people get all murdery. What happened?
Just work stuff.
Right. Well, Dad and I are just watching the latest episode of Night Springs here. Mom, it's so good.
No spoilers. I'll let you get back to the show. You were supposed to wait and watch with me. I love you both.
This is what happens when you go on work trips, Mom. Love you too. And say hi to Casey. Tell him to stop brooding so much.
Logan? I will. Bye, kiddo. Logan thinks you should try cheering up.
Snarky kid. Wonder where she gets that from.
It can't be a coincidence that another body turns up just as we arrive in town. Feels like the killer's leaving us a message.
I'm glad you're on this case with me, Anderson. It's right up your alley. You should take lead. Think of me as the backup.
Okay. Any words of advice?
Nothing that would cheer anyone up. Here we are. Cauldron Lake.
Time to get to work. A deputy was supposed to be here to show us to the crime scene. There's the car, so where's the deputy?
Eaten by a bear? Check out that map.
Invitation. Return, Chapter 1. Netmore territory. Pick up a map.
I think I hear someone.
Go take a look.
I never said that, Mulligan. I said we should both be down here, watching this.
Hey, over here.
Well, we're here.
Hey there. Agent
Hey there.
Casey, right? Sheriff Breaker said you'd be coming by to take over the case.
Oh, this is only my third time playing this, by the way. So there's going to be some parts where I suck at. And my second playthrough is a New Game Plus with fully upgraded almost fully upgraded guns, so it's been basically a year since I played this default. Or, yeah, almost exactly a year, because it just had the year anniversary earlier this week.
Saga Anderson. I'll be leading this case. Seems you already know my partner, Alex Casey.
Excuse me.
Shoot. Sorry about that, ma'am. I'm Deputy Mulligan. I just figured that, that, Federal agents right here, Thornton. My partner, Thornton, down at the crime scene. He's not what you call the sharpest axe in the shed.
Right here? What do you mean? Are they with you? Oh, shit! They didn't hear me, did they?
What can you tell us about the crime scene?
Tell them about the heart.
I was getting to that, Thornton. Well, we reckon there are some organs that are currently outside the victim's person when they should be, well, inside.
Were there any witnesses?
Yeah, a couple.
Sorry, I was just pulling up a guide just in case I needed it.
Wonder what they were doing, sneaking around the woods at night.
Mention the city folk. They're pretty suspicious.
Not that we have anything against city folk, right, Thornton? But don't worry. Sheriff Breaker took them back to town a while ago.
I want to see the body. How do we get there?
Oh, sure, that's real simple. Just through the hole in the fence, down the hill towards the lake around the old convenience store. You can't miss it. Everything's been closed since the area was fenced off. The store, the campground, all of it.
Mulligan, tell him I'm here, waiting. I'll show him around.
They got it, Thornton.
Before we get to the crime scene, there's time to review the facts of the case so far.
Actually, I want to see how big the subtitles are when they're small, because that's a bit too
Sure,
big
I'm
for
seeing
me.
the clues
Oh, that's better.
clearly.
I can still read that even with my shitty eyesight. I don't think I've ever heard that. Excuse me.
I need to think through the facts of the case. The Mind Place.
Oh, that's
My
okay.
version of the Mind Palace technique. To sift through clues and work the case. Building the Mind Place again for each case. Using each field office as a model in my head. The facts are on the board.
So I played this on Xbox the first time, obviously. Got all the achievements, even in the DLCs. So to get to the Mind Place, you had to hit the select button, but select was also your map. So it's very clunky sometimes of how to do it. I like this better. On the touchpad, it's one half of the touchpad is the Mind Place, the other half is the map. I love that. That's much better. Oh, excuse me.
Everything we know about the previous murders. Worth taking another look.
Case board is a mental technique that allows Saga to analyze clues and progress the investigation. Use right stick to move around, left and right trigger to zoom. Please. There we go. You're free to now navigate the case board to lead by pressing circle. Victims aren't real, huh? Victims reported missing in 2010, no other commonalities. The victim was reported missing in 2010, discovered in 2012, buried in a shallow grave. Ted Lane, dentist, stab wounds, bloating, bruising on the wrists. Found in Cauldron Lake, 2018, some organs missing. Predation, state of the body does not match 8 years spent in the lake. Wendy Davis, teacher, body bloated, large chest wound. From 2 weeks ago, chest wound was ruled with cause of death. Tattooing on body is illegible. Percy Wolf. Store owner, bruising, heart removed, strange tattoos. Murder method. Slight difference in murders, bloating only a commonality in bodies, but not cause of death. Chest trauma. Exposure to water, post-mortem. Bruising on the wrists and legs. 2 of the victims had bruising, some form of restraint, strapped or belted down. Deep gash in the chest, heart missing. Most recent victim died of major chest trauma consistent with 2018 victim. Hard to confirm due to condition of body. All bodies experienced bloating. Bloating of the corpse is indicative of drowning, but only 1 victim was found in the water. Killer profile. Talk to someone. Postman tattooing on the body. Victim 3 was covered in legible tattoos. The messages from the killer, maybe, or their art? Question mark. Apart from going missing in 2010, the victims have nothing apparent in common. Murder targets have no discernible common traits. Chest trauma resembles animal butchery technique. Killer may be a sportsman or hunter. You still do the whole teleport thing over there? Yep. Well, they did fix it so it's not.
Already hard at work, Anderson. Close to cracking it.
We're just getting started. Let's head down the hill to the crime scene.
Visiting the Mind Palace does not pause the game, so be mindful of nearby enemies. I think it said enemies at least.
Hey, Casey. You putting me in charge. Why now?
You're a detective that I am. You've cracked cases that had the rest of us baffled. I don't want to slow you down.
Are you thinking of retiring? You know what happens to cops who say this is their last case.
Real funny, Anderson.
Chaos at Cauldron Lake. Rampage of the rental cabins. Identify Manitex vacationers in the dead of night. Sunday, an idyllic evening of barbecuing and late-night fishing was violently disrupted Saturday as a mysterious assailant attacked park visitors, causing chaos and destruction at the cabins. The incident left 3 people injured, one of whom has been admitted to the county hospital. As to whether the attack is still at large, Bright Falls police have yet to make an official statement, leaving local residents in a state of uncertainty. Witnesses to the crime were violently shaken, one of whom said, "One minute we were laughing and toasting some marshmallows, the next we heard screaming coming up from the cabins. We didn't know what was going on, so we called the police and started running in the opposite direction," said Kurt Mill. Wasn't that one of the victims? Maybe. I didn't actually read these. I kind of skimmed them the first time. Another eyewitness who preferred to remain anonymous. Damn it. Another eyewitness who preferred to remain anonymous said it's like he appeared out of nowhere. Suddenly my dog starts barking his head off and the psycho guy comes crashing to the trees. Don't think I'll ever feel safe in this forest again. Representative from the rental cabins who chose to remain anonymous wanted to remind customers if you have plans to stay in our lovely cabins this summer, please get in touch with us as we may need to rejigger some of the reservations based on the state of the cabin you've rented with us. The representative went on to further remind future and potential guests of the wonderfully amenities that can be found in their company's brochures and on the website, which is real nice. State of the art. My nephew made it and he's a real computer whiz. Search for made him anonymous. Coffee bean. Okay, I'm not reading all these. I'll try to read the ones that I remember being important. Excuse me. I'm going to be yawning a lot. I haven't slept well the last few days.
Stairs are out. You okay to jump down?
I'm not. Fucking nature gives me a headache. There's too much sky.
As someone who has lived in a house in, as someone who has lived in a house in the middle of the woods for the past 22 years, I agree.
Murdered.
If getting back to nature is your thing.
Damn. Should have brought an umbrella.
I like the rain. The only thing around here that feels like home.
You think the local law had the sense to put up a tarp?
If they did, next coffee's on me.
So I got a message from someone from work. I took a week off, and people are not very respecting of that. General store, Cauldron Lake.
Deputy Thornton, I take it.
That's me, at your service, ready to get this case solved. Now the body's behind the store. Come on, I'll show you.
Break it down, y'all. Slide to the left, slide to the right.
Yeah,
Crisscross.
That's so cool. Hunting down psycho serial killers and shootouts with the mob.
Forgot the UFO cover-ups.
What? Those are real? You guys hiring?
Let's just see this body, shall we?
I wonder how Mulligan heard that.
Now this is the scene of the crime. We found him on the table. Now he didn't touch nothing, you know, procedures and stuff.
Thanks, Deputy.
No tarp. You owe me a coffee.
Okay, let's start by examining our guest of honor. Does this fit the MO of the previous murders? Body is positioned on the table. Ritualistic. Another body turns up just as we arrive in town. Coincidence?
I think not. Cauldron Lake murder scene. Now, the body has been found in the woods near Bright Falls. Perfect time. You need to see if this is linked to the killings we're here to investigate. One of the key images. Okay, so when you place that image down, it creates a new line of investigation. Yeah. It would prompt a new question. Oh, excuse me. Objectives of you about the case board and your goals. Investigate the crime scene. You're now free to examine the case board, yada, yada, yada.
Step 1. Examine the corpse.
You can collect clues from the body to progress the investigation.
The killer left the heart right next to the body. Bruising on the wrist from the cargo straps holding him down. Incised stab wound. Chest cut open. Heart removed.
Newly discovered clues can be placed under the open question.
Heart removed from chest, strapped by the wrists. Definitely matches the previous murders. But this time the heart and the straps were left behind. More clues to work with. This makes 4 murders that we know about.
Clues as reserved to the open question unlocked a new deduction. As you advance the investigation, new questions will be unlocked to updating your goals. You can check the updated goals by pressing triangle. Investigate the crime scene, learn more about the victim, learn more about the killer.
Who is our victim? Who killed him? Need to find more clues. Large amount of blood on the table. The victim died here. Multiple people were here. Multiple killers? Someone was drinking beer. They spent time here. Waiting. Someone left in a hurry. Knocked the tripod over. Was it for a camera?
What else is the fucking tripod for?
Any idea who the victim is?
Oh, I sure do. His name is Nightingale. He was FBI. He came to town about 13 years ago. I haven't heard a word about him since.
Okay, so this is something that's kind of that you would jump to. Okay, so I gotta do a mini rant quick. So, leading up to launch, Remedy did a fuck ton of stuff that kind of revealed some of the twists with the game, and I'm still kind of pissed about that. It didn't make me love the game any less. Obviously, this is one of my favorite games ever made. My Mount Rushmore of gaming. So, like I said, obviously didn't make me hate the game at all. But one of the things they revealed was that Nightingale was the guy getting killed. Nightingale was somebody who was sent after Alan Wake in the first game to capture him because of how he was acting. He was a very important, or not really a very important character. He's kind of like a character who was chasing you throughout the game after a certain section. And so that's kind of like the whole thing with him. He's an important character from the, like I said, not really an important character. He's a character from the first game. And that was something that Remedy revealed in like pre-release stuff. And I really would have hoped that would have been something I would have found out by ourselves. Because literally, this is what, in the first 20 minutes of the fucking game? If that. Anyway,
Until now.
rant over.
Nightingale. Robert Nightingale?
Oh, yes. You probably knew him. Brothers in arms. Oh, and sisters.
Clues can be discovered by speaking to people as well as examining your surroundings. The victim? Oops. What is it? D-pad.
Boot prints, indicating multiple killers. Quite the party. So you knew our victim?
Well, I didn't recognize him in his current state. But yeah, I ran into him a few times at Quantico. Never worked any cases together. After his partner got killed in the field, he went off the deep end. Got the boot pretty quick after that.
So what happened to Nightingale after the Bureau let him go?
I only know the rumors. Depression led to booze, booze led to paranoia. He got some wild ideas in his head, chased ghosts until he fell off the map. Guess he ended up here,
I bet there's more to that story.
but no happy ending.
Nightingale went missing 13 years ago. 2010.
The same as all the other victims.
Certainly fits the pattern. Makes me wonder what was going on that year.
Probably something this town wants to forget.
Robert Nightingale, ex-FBI, came to Bright Falls 13 years ago.
I'll read all these in a sec.
They planned for the murder to happen here, passing the time with equipment ready. They were waiting for him. But why Nightingale? He's been missing for 13 years. Why here? Why now?
Ah, shit, I forgot about this.
Profiling. Get into the subject's head. See what they saw. Feel what they felt. Use whatever I know about them to guide my intuition to a revelation. Piece it together.
Let me read these first. Killers waited for victim, brought equipment, murder was premeditated, but what was Nightingale doing out here? Victim ID'd. Robert Nightingale, former FBI agent, mental state questionable at time of disappearance.
Agent Nightingale has been MIA for 13 years. How did he end up here?
Up from the lake that's not a lake. It's dark. He was there too. You are not allowed in the lake until he says otherwise.
Robert Nightingale came from the lake, before his murder. Nightingale was chosen as the victim. Why?
Flick the switch. It goes click. Lights are off. But somebody's home. Somebody's home.
This wasn't some random act of violence. This was a ritual. And Nightingale a component. They didn't see him as a person. More like a container for something.
I can feel that Nightingale came from the lake, but why now after 13 years? Where's he been?
The lake is connected to Nightingale somehow. Casey, let's take a look down by the lake. Lead the way.
Sounds good. This way, right?
Right.
Okay, well, I'll just wait here.
This one of your hunches, Anderson? Did something happen at the lake?
I think Nightingale came up from that direction. From the lake. Probably looking for shelter. Safety. They were waiting for him.
When you're ready, I'd love to hear what you put together so far.
Sure. It's not that complicated. Nightingale was out in the woods alone at night, possibly nude. The killers knew he was here, ambushed him, dragged him to the campgrounds, strapped him to the table, cut his heart out. But then they were interrupted by those witnesses, the Bookers. The job is unfinished.
That seems pretty complicated to me. What was this guy doing skinny dipping at this time of year?
Haven't figured that part out yet.
Lots of questions.
Lots of answers for us to find.
I could have sworn there's a collectible over here. Maybe it's late. Oh, no. I know where we are now. Okay. Never mind. It's a bit further down. Is it over here?
I'll be back in a second.
Roger.
Can't go any further. Water's too deep.
Maybe it's later. I just seem to remember getting the collectible when we were walking around with Casey.
I didn't know trees got that big. Gives me the creeps.
You need to get out more. It is kind of creepy, though. There's a piece of paper on the ground. Tracks. Barefoot. Nightingales? They come out from under the boulder.
It makes no sense.
A page full of text on one side. Not a printout. Written with a typewriter. Old school. Lines scratched out and edits added with a pen.
Like a manuscript. Page of a story. The killer left a message.
Excuse me.
It's for us. The text is about us. The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale. And then there was the page they found. The first step down into terrifying depths.
Reading
Reading
the words. These words felt like a message.
Felt like a message.
Someone knew they were here, someone playing a game with them. An invitation. How could they not accept?
Even if they knew it would end up hurting them. Someone's been watching us.
Playing a sick game with us.
You were right. This is right up my alley. Nightingale came this way. Either he dropped this page, or the killers left it for us. I should profile Nightingale about this page. We found a page in the woods. A story about these events. What is Nightingale's role in this?
I carry his words close to my chest now. Inside, the awful truth. You must dig it out.
Something was put inside him. In his chest. I must find out what.
The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale, gone missing here 13 years ago. Now he had suddenly turned up, only to be murdered in a brutal ritual on the very day of their arrival. And then there was the page. This page, the first page that they had found, not the last. The first step down into terrifying depths. Secret truths trembling beyond the threshold. Reading the words, these words, felt like a message. Was a message. Someone knew they were here. What they were doing. Someone playing a game with them. Leading them on. An invitation. How could they not accept? The sheer audacity of this impossible mystery presented to them. Even if they knew it would end up hurting them.
I have not. I did play a lot of those my first time, but there's a couple of them that I just kind of skimmed through, like most of the notes. So these are going to be new for a lot. A lot of them are going to be new for me. I hope if I put down my new notes.
I think he came from the lake. But his tracks make no sense.
Okay, so let me read all these first. Okay, so I read these. Victim came from too many unknowns, doesn't make sense. Asking wrong questions. Victim came from lake. Trail has gone cold. Dead end, literally. Footprints emerging from under the rock. He walked through a boulder doesn't make sense. Anything else here? Nightingale has something hidden inside of him. There's more going on here than I'm seeing. I need to examine his body properly back in town.
Found all I can here. Time to properly examine the body. See what I can find inside.
I think
something's been put inside Nightingale's body. Let's tell the deputies to get the body to the town morgue.
Okay.
Whoever wrote that page made sure it read like a story. Like a scene from a thriller.
I hate all of it. The text said we'd find more. I believe it.
But what's the purpose? They're twisting events to create their own narrative. To do what? Entertain some fantasy? Projecting their desires? Are we characters or the audience? Witnesses to their design? All the above?
It's all about control. Good. Deciding what happens to who. Don't let it drag you in.
Too late. I'm already hooked. I need the next chapter.
I hope you didn't get stuck in any of those big puddles. Crazy flooding down there, huh? Just like I said.
Deputy, I want the body taken back to town for a proper examination ASAP.
Well, sure. But the coroner won't be back in town for another week after Deerfest.
Not a problem. I'll do it myself.
Oh, and Sheriff Breaker called to say he's got the Bookers at the Oh Deer Diner in town. Oh, and I've got a key to the gate. It's a shortcut back to the parking lot just up the hill.
Shortcut key.
Thanks.
I am going to hit that button a lot.
I could use a cup of coffee.
Let's try that shortcut the deputy mentioned.
Sounds good.
I'm going to look over here quick.
I think I saw something. It'll only take a minute.
I'll wait here.
It's the Lake House. From the hit DLC, the Lake House.
Hello, this is Agent Anderson and Agent Casey, FBI. We'd like to come in and ask a few questions pertaining to an investigation.
The station heads are not currently available. Access is restricted without their permission.
Nice talking to you, too.
That's a puzzle for later, if I'm remembering correctly.
Good to see you still in one piece, Anderson. Forest can be a dangerous place.
Seems like a nice town so far. Murders aside.
Okay, I gotta mention this quick. I do kind of think the animation of her like hiding behind the key as she's putting it in is kind of weird, but it's better than the Resident Evil games where the key just kind of floats in and turns. I always thought that animation in Resident Evil was weird.
Pretty woods. Cute lodge we got set up in. We should go for a hike if we get a chance.
Be mean, Anderson.
Deputies aren't exactly up to the task, but hopefully the sheriff will be more helpful.
Not a surprise about the deputies. Doubt they see much stuff this gruesome.
Aha! I knew there was something here. I knew there was something when you're walking around with Casey. I knew it.
Kid's lunchbox? An Alex Casey movie lunchbox.
We're all in this together. Have a
Casey
heroic
endless
day.
jokes about coincidentally having the same name as a fake detective. He hates those cheesy crime books, but he really hates the movies.
Okay, let me read that again. We're all in this together, hero. Have a heroic day. Manuscript fragments can be found to upgrade weapons in the mine place. I don't think there's enough in the game to upgrade all your weapons, if I'm remembering correctly. Property of the FBC. We'll be able to explore that in a little bit. Yeah, if I remember correctly, there's not enough to get every upgrade the first time. I think the collectibles reset in New Game Plus, you could get enough to upgrade everything, but you don't really need it. This isn't like a Resident Evil game where every upgrade really helps.
Yet.
There's some where I'm kind of just like, okay, whatever.
Tripod. Tracks leading to a dead end.
Tripod? For a camera? To record a snuff film?
Maybe. And why take out his heart just to throw it away?
To stuff in something for us to find.
It's going to be a long first episode. Actually, it'll probably be a long every episode. Because of how much I love this game, I'll probably lose track of time very quickly. I think I'll get to town and then we'll stop this episode.
At the diner. I can't get that manuscript page out of my head. I've never seen killers reach out so directly before.
Damn impressive work so far. With your technique, these hunches were moving fast.
I wasn't sure about taking a case so far from home, but I'm thrilled to be here for this mystery. Need to swing by the lodge to get anything from the field office?
I'm all set.
I'll park there anyway. I want to walk to the diner, get a feel for the town. The diner's just up the waterfront. Shouldn't keep the sheriff and our witnesses waiting.
I smell coffee.
First place to end. So that's the end of part 1 of God knows how many. I'm trying to finish this in 2 days, because I technically don't have all week off. I go back to work on Friday. I'm recording this on Wednesday. I'm hoping to get this done before I go back to work, because otherwise it's going to be middle of November before I have a chance to play this again. So yeah, this will probably be a very long stretch of recording sessions. Anyway, end of part 1.